Hey everyone, welcome to today's call. Before we jump right in, because I'm more about the experience than to um, over explain things, but I did have a question come in where someone asked why does this process work so well? So for those of you who want to nerd out on it a little bit, I'm going to provide a little information and then we're going to go right into the session for grief. So Gary Flint, as well as John Veltheim, Gary Flint discovered or created the healing process where John Veltheim has created Body Talk. They both realize that there's this inner wisdom, this inner knowing, I believe in hypnosis, they call it the other observer. So almost every modality has this belief that there's this aspect of us that is not damaged by life, and we can tap into that to help redo, rewire, recreate beliefs about ourselves and then life. Because I believe it was Skinner who developed the belief that the organism, that our body's never wrong. And also, John Veltheim believes that in Body Talk, that if you have a condition or a disease, there's a reason for it. And with Magnetic Mind, it started with Gary Flint and then it went to, I believe, Colette. I don't remember her last name, but she runs MAP Coaching Institute, also really has combined Gary Flint's work with John Veltheim's work. So she calls it the wow factor. um, and that's why this works so well. So what's really nice is Gary Flint has discovered it, but a gentleman by I believe it's Dr. Nader, has done scientific research that when we recall a memory, it has a window of I believe he calls it reconciliation. So that when we are recalling a memory, it's a little unstable and we have an opportunity to shift it. But pretty much through all different fields, they have the core understanding that if there's something in your life you don't have and you're not able to get it, there's a belief behind it that's holding you back, that there's part of you in your psyche that believes you're better off without it. It's like a protective mechanism. So those are all the names: John Veltheim, Gary Flint, Colette, who does the MAP Coaching Institute, and then Dr. Nader, who has developed the idea of a window of reconciliation. But it also gets into, Joe Dispenza's work, all that kind of stuff. So it's all super exciting. That's why I really like to share it. So what I'm doing in my processes is to help you tap into that process all on your own so you can learn it. I have the ability to go in and find your emotions and find those experiences and then kind of pull you back and then experience them with you. So when you've had a traumatic experience, you're not having to resolve it by yourself, because trauma is distress without a resolution. So if you have somebody there to help witness it, so you can regulate yourself, then you can resolve things and you get a new understanding of it and it's not holding you back anymore. There's also a lady who does wonderful pediatric stuff. And again, her name escapes me, but she has what is called stay listening. And this is what you do with young children so they can learn to regulate themselves. And part of what I'm working on getting you to do is to be able to stay listen to your inner self, your inner sensations, so they can get regulated and integrated and your life can be better. Um, so if we are ready to move on, we will go into the process. So go ahead and find a comfortable place to sit down. It'd be great if somebody would let me know to make sure everybody can hear me. And find a place where you can sit down and get comfortable. And I'm actually going to turn my camera off so I'm not distracting. Taking a couple deep breaths. Bringing your attention to your body, to the here and the now. As we bring our goal into the belief of grief. And we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive, because for some, grief can be a deep mental anguish. It can be when we're grieving the loss of a loved one. But grief can also be something more mild, like annoyance or frustration. But mainly it's when we feel we have lost something or we can't get something that we value. So we're going to go ahead and set this process up, especially for those that have not been with me before. Being on this call allows me to work with your superconscious to provide you the shifts so you could create a life you love. And my disclaimer, I am not a doctor, a therapist, and I offer no advice. All resources provided on my website or these calls are for educational purposes only. Unlocking Resilience takes no responsibility for the use or misuse of the resources provided. You, as the listener or consumer, take full responsibility for your mental health choices and behaviors. And you can either close your eyes or leave them open, whatever you find most comfortable. Taking a few deep breaths, allowing the exhale to be a little longer than the inhale. And as you focus on your heart, you could even put your hand on your heart if that helps you focus more directly on the body. And I'm going to open this session. And I'm going to do a little bit of a longer brain training, just in case we have anybody new. Thank you for letting me know that you could hear me. So for those who've been with me for a long time, go ahead and relax. This is really for all the newbies. While focusing on your heart, I'm going to speak to your superconsciousness, and I'm going to introduce it to your brain. Our superconscious speaks in metaphors, which makes this process easy to set up and work with. And we're going to ask your brain, do you want to work with superconscious? We get yes. And the goal is for healing parts and the body. And superconscious, please set up the healing procedure, allowing us to have the state of reconciliation. Showing the brain and the conscious mind the process. Using the metaphor, healing trauma in the body is like boating on a smooth, calm lake. When painful emotions and memories come up to the surface, it creates rough waters. This creates challenges while boating on the waters of life. Superconscious can smooth out these rough waters to a calm lake again, so that life can be smooth boating again. Breathing and allowing your conscious mind to activate your healing process, states of reconciliation. It is already in the body and mind. You just didn't know you have access to it. Superconscious, please run the beginning process so the body can start using the healing procedure and becomes familiar with states of reconciliation, where we shift distress to resolve. Breathing and noticing. And superconscious, please treat all parts and memory structures that want treatment that you tagged from the last session until now. Slowly and safely with total respect, and at the most appropriate time during today's session. Superconscious, any part that doesn't want treatment, doesn't know what treatment is, or maybe it's just curious or avoidant, can be placed in the observatory mode. Please gently inform and show them the treatment process and the benefits of treatment, reminding that no parts will die, they won't lose information, and that the treatment process is gentle and they get to control how and when they join the treatment process. All parts have to agree before treatment is applied, and so that all parts understand that the intention of treatment is to remove the hurt and the pain and replace it with positive elements so treated parts can integrate with the main identity. So there is no more conflict while running the body together. Treat rest. Treat rest will be the process the superconscious uses. And superconscious, with kindness and understanding, please find and support all parts that are associated to and with the structure of grief and the structure of being accepted or not accepted in life to be available for today's session. And take a moment to let superconscious and your brain accept these new ideas. For when we have grief, it's a very personal experience and it begins very young in life. And one of the very first things that causes us grief, which is distress without resolve, is, are we being accepted? So as you lean into today's session, we're just going to have you ask yourself, did you feel accepted as a child, or did you experience something else? Did you feel you belonged, or did you experience something else? What was the first time you can remember feeling unaccepted, left out, or even exiled? Maybe you felt something about you wasn't quite right. What was going on around you at that time? Just feel into what is coming up for you. Super conscious, please treat everything in the active experience fully. Treat all snapshots, decisions, emotions, projections, and expectations, separations, judgments, or sensations triggered from others that got internalized in a disempowering way around acceptance, and replace them with self-empowering snapshots, self-empowering emotions and decisions, and self-empowering beliefs to form an identity that is aligned with my heart's desires and not the judgments and punishments from others. In this process of developing the true self-acceptance and creating calm waters, superconscious, please treat any broken agreements with self, all sadness, unaligned intentions, unfinished communication, and any other mindset or brain barrier. Treating all events where I felt rejected and not accepted and internalized it. Continue to breathe and notice. Superconscious, tag and treat all of this. And once treated, replace all treated elements with positive self-empowering elements. And also replace all disempowering beliefs with self-empowering beliefs and a new self-empowering snapshot of a new positive self. A self-empowering inner voice of self-acceptance and worthiness. And superconscious, please treat any parts that are associated to and with this feeling of lack of acceptance and any grief that it has created. Anywhere I've internalized not feeling worthy, replace it with a strong, grounded, connected self, connection to self. Treating any disorganization. And when ready, do a massive history change and everything after that. Again, breathing and noticing. Just allowing possibly whatever's coming up for you to hold it in kindness, to have a curiosity as to, oh, I can see why this would affect me. And allow the superconscious to even go through and sweep through any memories that seem to be related to everything that's being processed now. And being open to accepting your life. Doesn't mean that what happened was okay. It just means you go, yeah, that affected me. I get that now. And super consciousness, treat all of that is coming into the active experience with a massive history change and everything after that. And take a moment and focus on, what is your intention for today's session? Where can you accept yourself and feel more worthy, even if others seem not to? And most importantly, is there any purpose to not accepting yourself or your life? Again, just breathing and noticing, feeling into any grief or discomfort that's there. Feel what is underneath it if you can. What is underneath that feeling of unacceptance or not being liked? Who or what has happened to change the self-empowering belief in yourself? Welcome any rough waters or beliefs, body sensations that come up as we focus on all of this today. Super conscious, please treat the structure of all disempowering associations to and with these beliefs that are creating the rough waters in the active experience. And treat any beliefs related to feeling rejected. And beliefs like, I'm not accepted, I don't belong, I'm not like others. And any other beliefs that you have coming up for you at this time. Allow them to flow so that superconscious can treat them. And any other related beliefs, thoughts, memories, emotions, or experiences. And again, superconscious, treat everything that's coming up in the active experience. Please go back to the original event where any of these beliefs and behaviors were first created, learned in this lifetime or any other, and reinforced. And please treat this event fully. And all of the memories associated to and with these rough waters. And if possible, go right back, all the way back, right before the most dominating, intruding belief developed, and treat that. And create an anchor to weather any storm, accessing new positive self-empowering beliefs and memories to replace the old, disempowering ones. And once treated, then replace all treated elements with self-empowering elements. And then treat all disempowering elements that were reinforced and reinforcing this lack of acceptance from then up until now and into the future. that reinforce any element similar to that which has just been treated. And when ready, do a massive history change and everything after that. In superconscious, we're going to offer a metaphor to the subconscious mind that we are reclaiming the mastery of our own boat. And how does that feel? Smooth waters do not create a skillful sailor. Superconscious, please identify the predispositions of parts and complex structures that led to the associations to and with any belief that self-rejection is possible. Tag and treat them fully. And then, when appropriate, do a massive history change and everything after that. Again, super consciousness, you're just looking for rough waters, smoothing out the rough waters. And again, as we refocus on the breath, the body, and our subject today, notice any judgments you might still have about yourself and feeling accepted. Around any beliefs about others accepting or not accepting you as you are. What is it that is so unacceptable about yourself? What do others say that isn't acceptable about you? What judgments, maybe criticisms, could be blame or shame? And how are you noticing this in your body as you focus on all of this? Really get in touch with these feelings, these sensations, and know that it's safe to allow it to be there. So super conscious can treat it. If it's too intense, you can use the surface of the water to show super conscious what needs to be treated and smoothed. And again, super conscious, bring up everything that is active in the active experience and treat it. And continue treating it until the rough waters are smoothed out. Treat all beliefs and behaviors from others that got internalized in a disempowering way. And replace them with self-empowering beliefs and behaviors. To form a new identity that is aligned with my heart's desires and not the behaviors and beliefs of others. Again, treating all disorganization, treating all aggression, rage, treating the fire element. In this process of developing the true self, a true identity, treat any broken agreements with self, unaligned intentions, unfinished communications, or any other mind barrier or brain barrier. Anywhere they have taken an external opinion of a disempowering person, emotion, event, and it has internalized it. Take and treat that and replace it with a new positive self-empowering belief and behavior. A new positive self-empowering inner voice. Allow that part that wants to keep us safe to feel safe. And please treat any parts that are associated to and with these complex structures, these internalized, disempowering interjects. And when ready, do a massive history change and everything after that. Continue breathing and just noticing. And super conscious, remind all parts that it is statistically impossible, that everything is all your fault. Just because you didn't know what to do doesn't make it your fault. We just needed to add that in as a side note for parts that were curious about it. And super conscious, please treat any fear, any resistance, self-doubt, any feelings of not being accepted, feeling unworthy and not knowing why, and any other disempowering emotion. Please treat the structure of all disempowering associations to the structure, including the parts, traumas, interjects, and beliefs. Superconscious, please tag and treat the individuation process of the internal and the external to make a clear division between me and not me, real and not real, so my true self can be experienced as self-empowered and feels accepted by me and feels worthy. And when appropriate, do a massive history change and everything after that. And while your body continues to integrate, often we learn self-acceptance from others. And if we didn't learn it as a child, we can learn it now. We can accept ourselves now. We can give us that praise and that validation that we need now. Bringing all those parts together. And again, as you focus on self-acceptance, and maybe how others have treated you. Superconscious, please identify the parts, predispositions, and complex structures that led to these associations, that led to this internalization of not feeling accepted, not feeling worthy. Find the pathological consciousness of the concept of worthiness and replace it with a natural consciousness of the concept of worthiness at this time. Just breathing and noticing. Using the metaphor of getting our head on straight. And superconscious, please replace any rejected objects that have been internalized with a positive self-empowering object. Self-empowering memories and experiences so that they can have an internalized, self-empowered acceptance of self. If an internal object is still needed. And begin developing the true grounded connection to self that resides in the heart, treating all heart memories as needed. And replace all disempowering heart memories with positive self-empowering heart memories. Memories of joy. Treating all of the body's physiology. And when ready, do a massive history change and everything after that. Giving some appreciation to our wonderful body. And focusing on or around your body. Maybe adding a comforting color if any is needed. Whatever it is that comes to mind. You might imagine your whole body filling up with this comforting color, if any, and allowing it to connect to all of your energy centers. Placing your attention on whichever center pulls your attention, or just any area of the body that comes to mind. As this is happening, it creates a balanced self-expression of self-love. Creates a positive expression of self-esteem, self-acceptance, and worthiness. We're going to let some of that integrate in. I can feel a bit of nervous fatigue, so we're going to wait for that to integrate. Again, reminding the parts that it's treat rest, treat rest. Any place where we don't value rest, super consciousness allow us to see the value in rest and restoration. And super conscious, when ready, we can move forward to treat the energy centers that can be treated at this time easily. And treat any disempowering behaviors, beliefs that are within the energy centers, meridians, with extra focus on the earth element in the body and mind. Again, treating anything that is causing disorganization or rough waters, or a collapse in the energy field, or capsizing our boat. Treat all of that. And super conscious, please treat all the energy centers so they function as a whole. And replace the treated disempowering memories with positive self-empowering beliefs, thoughts, memories, experiences. And continue supporting the self-empowering inner self, strengthening our ability to express self-respect, self-love, and continue strengthening the grounded connection to self until it is 100% true in the main identity. So that the main identity understands and knows that it can accept your needs. It's safe to be accepted, and most important, that you can fully accept yourself and feel worthy at the same time. And when appropriate, do a massive history change and everything after that. And we're going to pause for a bit because there's a lot of energy moving, and we want those parts and aspects to stabilize before we move forward. So there's going to be a little bit of silence on the audio, but I haven't gone anywhere. We just got to let this integrate in and stabilize before we move forward. And just keep breathing and focusing on the heart. And as you focus on the heart, ask your heart, as I begin to fully accept myself, who am I becoming? What are my heart's desires? Who is my new accepted self? And super conscious, please continue to treat all contradicting thoughts, beliefs, and energies, any intruding field. Treat them from the top down and the bottom up, front to back, back to front, and in a 360-degree circle. And treat all of these fields until they can fall away to everlasting happiness. The fields may find peace. And once the energies are no longer interfering with my energies, replace all treated elements with self-empowering elements. And again, who is my new accepted self? What would it look like for me to be fully accepted, being my true, authentic self? What aspects of yourself would you like to be seen and acknowledged and loved? What aspects would you like to be able to accept about yourself? What does being worthy look and feel like? And super conscious, while treating the heart memories, please restore and reinstate the original truth, the original belief of enoughness, worthiness, acceptance, belonging, of connection and community. Please reinforce positive, self empowering beliefs such as I am accepted, I am loved for who I truly am, I am worthy and deserving, and most important, I accept myself and others as they are. And also do the sentence procedure on I love and accept myself, and I can love and be loved. And please reinforce these beliefs and treat them until they're 100% true in the active experience. Treating all contradicting elements until smooth waters are the norm when I am accepting myself. And when appropriate, do a massive history change and everything after that. And super conscious, please do a sentence procedure on the phrase I have healthy boundaries with myself. I listen to my needs and I accept my needs. I am a priority to myself. Please treat all memories associated to and with these statements until there are no more contradictory thoughts, parts, memories, events, and experiences associated with these phrases. And when ready, do a massive history change and everything after that. Again, just breathing and noticing, allowing superconscious to make the changes. And superconscious, please repeat this process on any other supportive phrase and continue to treat them until they are absolutely positive, until the main identity is boating on smooth waters with beautiful weather and is accepting of these self-empowering truths. Anytime these phrases are seen, felt, heard, or come to mind, continue treating any contradictory thoughts, rough waters, or beliefs from self or others until only self empowering beliefs will be accepted into the main personality. And coming back to your body and your breath and checking in with your original statement. Am I accepted? And how do you feel now? Check in to see how your boat is doing in the waters of life. Notice any shifts that may have happened. How are you feeling around and about the concept of being accepted or liked by others? and more important, being accepted by yourself. And as we get ready to bring this session to a close, super conscious, please begin the closing procedure, including in the now time awareness closing procedure. And integrate all of these memories we have touched today into memories 1, 2, and 3. Tandem memories, shadow memories, and any other memories, known or unknown. Please treat all levels of the body's physiology. And between now and the next session, tag them memories in a neutral way and treat any disempowering and negative part, and then replace it with reinforced, positive, self-empowering memories in its place. And super conscious, then do a complete massive history change and everything after that. And as you bring your attention back to the room you're in, maybe have a little wiggle around. And I will bring the session to a close. So just take a few minutes, settle in, and how is that experience for you? Now you can, moving forward, if you want to listen to the audio again and pick a specific grief event you had, you could do that also. But what I want to do is I want to address grief at that deepest level. How did we deal with grief as a child? Because that is what builds how we experience grief as an adult, whether we're able to regulate ourselves or not. So I definitely have enjoyed providing this session for you. And you can subscribe if you want. That'll let you know when the next audio is coming out. I have 2 more audios in the grief series. They'll be every Saturday for the next couple weeks. If I get comments that we need to do more or we need to have more specific type grief things, by all means, you can leave me a comment and I will bring this to a close. And eat well, sleep well, and stay hydrated until I see you next time.